Καλημέρα σας. Ευχαριστούμε πολύ την ELEMASYN για την ευκαιρία που μας προσφέρει για να εκφράσουμε τις απόψεις μας σε ένα θέμα σχετικά με το μέλλον των πόλεων. Θα παρακολουθήσετε λοιπόν μια ρητορική δραστηριότητα στην αγγλική γλώσσα, αφού ο όμιλός μας είναι αγγλικός όμιλος debate. Το θέμα είναι κατά πόσο είναι εφικτό να απαγορευτούν τα αυτοκίνητα ιδιωτικής χρήσης στο ιστορικό κέντρο των μεγάλων ευρωπαϊκών πόλεων. Ευχαριστούμε και πάλι.
Good morning. You're about to see a debate on the topic. Private cars should be banned in the historic city center of all European cities. There are two sides, the proposition with three speakers who are for this motion and the opposition with three speakers who are against this motion. You will hear arguments from both sides. During the speeches, you may see the ones from the opposing team standing up in order to ask questions. Let me start with the definition of the motion. A private car is a car that is owned for private use, as opposed to a company or official car. Equally, historic city center is a central area in a city that has never stopped functioning since it was first built. Most historic centers today gather tourism and include all important landmarks. We hope you find our debate interesting.
I am the first speaker of the proposition and we urge you to imagine living in a big European city. You're looking out of your window, but instead of rows of parked cars and communal ugly buildings, you see communal gardens, children's play areas, wildflowers, and lots of trees. People would be moving around on foot or by using forms of mass transportation, such as metro and lots of bicycles, but without gasoline cars as the rulers of everyday life. How beautiful would that city be? My team and I believe that by banning cars in the historic city center of any large city, air quality will certainly improve. According to the World Health Organization, air pollution has been linked to a wide range of diseases, including strokes, asthma, and even lung cancer. In fact, research has shown that air pollution can impact almost every organ in the human body. We also want you to remember what happened during the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdowns that followed. Atmospheric pollution was decreased, rush hour disappeared, and citizens living in urban areas started to walk more. According to research, CO2 emissions in western cities were decreased by almost 27% in 2021. Why? Because cars stopped being used at such alarming rates. We also want you to remember what happened during the COVID-19 concluding, we believe that by banning cars in the heart of European cities, people will reclaim their living areas, which will become healthier and more productive. Thank you for your time. We are open to rebuttal and any arguments on your side.
I am the first speaker of the opposition, and I will start by saying that we accept the definition. However, my team and I will present our arguments and also prove why your arguments are unsubstantial. You talk about better living conditions and cleaner air in the city because of that possible ban in private cars use. You also asked us to imagine how beautiful the city centers would look like if your dream came true, whereas at the same time, you reminded us of the pandemic period. We believe that the analogy is wrong. How can you possibly compare the time of lockdowns to life today that has come back to normal? Let me now move on to our argumentation. We believe that you cannot possibly be in favor of banning private cars use in the heart of large European cities. A private car is private property that citizens have the right to. How can you possibly prohibit its use? By doing this, you make citizens who live in the center, or commuters who live off city limits but work in the center, to use public transport and is not always fast and reliable. We cannot understand how crowded public transport will make life healthier or easier as you propose. In other words, we believe that there are better ways to protect our environment than banning private cars altogether. Governments should offer citizens more reliable and faster, eco-friendly buses, metro, or trams that will make cars less desirable, but without banning their use. Companies can continue to manufacture affordable electric cars too. I emphasize affordable because they are really expensive today. That way, we can protect the environment without violating the right to citizens' property. Thank you for your time. We are open to your own rebuttal.
As the second speaker of the proposition, I believe that your basic argument is lacking direction. What do you mean owning a private car is a right? No, it is a privilege, and whoever owns it, it will, of course, continue to use it, but not in the city center. These drivers will have to follow this new law as they do in so many other cases. We not propose taking the cars away from them. You also referred to faster and more reliable means of transport and more affordable electric cars as an alternative. Great solutions, but it will take ages to have them soon. How long should we have to wait for your alternatives? Health and better living conditions cannot wait. Or am I wrong?
Will you invest money into better means of transport?
Yes, it is in our plan. Let me now move on to our argumentation. Apart from better air quality, a carless city center is also safer for pedestrians and cyclists, as well as the drivers themselves. Did you know that up to 85% of serious road accidents take place in the city center? Likewise, an area without cars means more green spaces. With our parking lots, we will have communal gardens and open spaces. And with our noisy, ugly highways, we will get lines of trees. Therefore, a cleaner city center with a greater sense of community. All in all, not only will our cities be better, but safer too. We have proven that our solutions are more efficient than your own unrealistic measures. Thank you for your time.
As the second speaker of the opposition, I believe that your arguments is lacking direction. You talked about fatal road accidents and how a carless city will be a safer place. What about the roads outside the prohibited area? Accidents can happen everywhere, especially in highways where drivers speed up. What do you propose? Ban cars altogether? Shouldn't we be talking about more responsible drivers, stricter legislations, and higher fines when they break a law? You also mentioned that parking lots will be replaced by communal spaces, and highways in the city center will give their place to greener areas. We do not oppose to this solution, but why can't we have green spaces elsewhere? Why can't we build them on the roofs of buildings of our cities? What about improving the existing neighborhood parks or gardens that are not maintained at all? Moving on to our arguments. We believe that your new measures require time and money. First of all, we are facing an economic crisis, so how will this money be found? Secondly, how long should we have to wait for these new development projects? Can't you imagine how this will impact the economy of any European country? Yes.
You have already asked us about investments and eco-friendly buses. Do you want us to invest in all this or not?
Yes, of course. But until this huge project come true, why do we have to lose our right for our private car? At the same time, we believe that rents in the city center will rise because most people will want to buy or rent a house there to avoid the new law. We wonder why you propose an unfair, unrealistic economy. Thank you for your time.
In conclusion, we consider that we have won this debate, since we have managed to prove to you that the picture of a carless city you have proposed is totally unrealistic. Each city center can become safer and more walkable, but with its own interventions on the part of the state. As we have already mentioned, banning cars is an unfair solution and it will have a negative impact on the economy. Equally, it is not cost-effective. We believe that by banning cars, European citizens will not have an improved lifestyle, but rather a more difficult one, since their rights to property have been violated. You have described a romantic picture of that carless city center, but we cannot see how this can become true. Thank you for your time, attention, and participation.
My team and I have described our picture of a carless city that sounds like a dream, but it should and can be turned into reality. We have also referred on disease causes by air pollution from cars, and therefore we described how citizens in big European cities deserve better living conditions as well as safer and greener streets. What else, you may ask? Well, we also proved that air pollution in cities is a health hazard, as research shows, and also by what we have learned from the recent pandemic. In other words, recent research has been used in order to prove how logical and viable our dream of banning private cars can be. Thank you for your participation and time.
What you have watched the short debate. Normally, we would have more time to process our ideas and arguments. It is up to all of you to decide if you are for or against the ban on cars in the centers of big European cities. Thank you for your attention.